Okay, so today we'll be solving simple inequalities. This is from your homework, page 45, number 22 through 33, 52, and 53. The first problem we're going to check out is number 24. The directions say solve the inequality and then graph it. So I'm given the equality 4x minus 8 is greater than or equal to negative 4. And when I'm solving inequalities, I'm really approaching it the same way I would solve a regular equation. I'm just going to solve for x, but I'm doing the order of operations. So here I'm going to undo my adding and subtracting first. So I'm going to add 8 from both sides. Which looks like I need to make. Okay, so we add 8 to each side. And then 8 minus 8 is 0, so on this side I'm just left with 4x is greater than or equal to negative 4 plus 8 is a positive 4. The one thing that we have to remember when we're solving inequalities, if we have a coefficient which is negative, which means we divide by a negative number or multiply by a negative number, then we'd have to switch our sign. In this problem, that's not the case. Our coefficient is positive, so I'm just going to divide by 4. My sign stays the same. Oops. And my final answer here is x is greater than or equal to 1. So now what I can do is I can graph this. Here's my number line. It doesn't have any numbers on it yet, so let's go ahead and put some on there. I'm just going to start here and put 0 here, and then I'll have negative 1. And so far, etc. Okay, so I'm going to go, I have to start at 1, and I have to figure out what kind of circle am I going to have. Is it going to be an open circle or a closed circle? And I can choose that based on my sign. So it is greater than or equal to, which means I'm going to have a closed circle too. Closed circle means I'm including 1 in my answer. And then I can figure out where do I want my arrow to go. Well, x is greater than or equal to 1, meaning that I need to be all values that are greater than 1. So if I think about this, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are greater than 1, therefore I want my arrow to go that way. Okay, next problem. Next problem I have is number 28. It says 2x minus 6 is greater than 3 minus x. And I chose this problem because there's an x on both sides. And these types of equations are kind of unique because before I mentioned if we ever have to multiply or divide an inequality on both sides by a negative, then we would have to flip our sign. And it's not difficult, but it's something else to remember. So whenever we have x's on both sides, we have the opportunity to always have a positive coefficient. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what would I do? Would I move 2x to this side of the equation to make a positive coefficient of x? Or am I going to move x to this side of the equation to make sure that my coefficient of x is positive? And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add x to both sides. And by doing so, here I'm going to get a positive 3x minus 6 is greater than 3. And my coefficient of x is positive. Now, had I moved 2x to the other side, that would not be incorrect. I would just have a negative 3x on this side, and then I just have to make sure that I'm flipping my sign when I'm solving the inequality. And once I've done that, now I can just continue to solve as normal. I can add 6 to both sides. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0, so I'm left with 3x on this side. And 6 plus 3 is 9. And then finally, I can divide by 3. So I have x is greater than 3. And then if I have my number line down here, I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have negative 1, 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. I'm at a positive 3 on the number line, and I'm going to have an open circle this time because I don't want to include 3 in my solution set. So here it's all numbers greater than 3. So again, 4, 5, and 6 are greater than 3, so I want my arrow to go in that direction. Okay, last problem we're going to do is a word problem. It says you have budgeted $100 to improve your swimming over the summer. At your local pool, it costs $50 to join the swim association and $5 for each swim class. Write and solve an inequality for the best possible number of swim classes you can attend within your budget. So here, number one, we're writing an inequality. So we're not going to have an equal sign. We're going to have either a greater than or less than, or greater than or equal to or less than or equal to symbol. We can approach this just like we would approach other linear equations that we would write. We're going to look for something that has a fixed cost. So here, my fixed cost when I'm looking at the pool is $50. It cost me $50 to join the swim association. So I'm going to put that down, $50. That number does not change. So it does not have the variable attached to it. What does change is there's $5 for each swim class, means the number of swim classes is what's changing. And again, you can see down here it says the possible number of swim classes. That's how I know that my variable is going to be the possible number of swim classes. So let's make my variable C, and we're going to put that down as the number of swim classes. Okay, and up here it says it's $5 for each swim class. So we can include this in our inequality that we have 5C for $5 per swim class. And we have budgeted $100. So I know $100 is going to be on the other side of my inequality. What I need to figure out is what is going to be my symbol. So it says, write and solve inequality, find the possible number of swim classes you can attend within your budget. So this is going to be the total cost of thing, and this is how much money I have. Well, the total cost needs to be less than or equal to my budget. So now I have my inequality written, and now I can solve it to figure out what possible number of swim classes I can attend. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 5C is less than or equal to 50. Divide by 5. And I have C is less than or equal to 10. So they can take 10 or fewer classes. Again, as always, if you have any questions, please see me or Mr. Daniels as soon as possible.